Hey everybody, welcome to Money's No Object. I am your host, Dylan Howell. This is episode number 100. Wow, 100 episodes. That is a big milestone, and I'm very, very thankful for all of you who have watched every episode or most episode or listened to every episode or most episode. Thank you guys so much, and I'm just glad to be here. Glad to be here for this 100th episode of Money's No Object. Today, what we are going to talk about is how college is not the end-all, be-all. How college is not 100% necessary and 100% for everyone. And this goes along with what I've been talking about this week. College has kind of been my theme this week. Education, paying for education, making investments in yourself has been my spiel for the week. And so I think it is particularly interesting to also look into the reasons that college is not for everybody and that college is not the end-all be-all and what the alternatives are and how you can still make the best of your working life without a college degree. Before we get started though, if you could, go down below, hit the big red subscribe button, like this video, leave me any feedback or questions in the comments down below, and I'll be glad to answer those questions or get back to you with anything that you may have to say about the content that I have put out. Then if you are listening on Apple or Spotify podcasts, make sure that you subscribe to the podcast there and leave me a review. Follow me on social media at MNO with Dylan. And that's really good supplemental content to the things that I'm putting out daily in these longer form episodes. And then if you need somebody to help you build a financial plan and to walk through that financial plan that is specific to you and your life, I can definitely help you do that. Just go to my website, www.mnowithdylan.com. Click on the Work with Dylan tab and then pick the financial coaching session type that would work best for you, and we can begin pushing towards your long-term financial goals together. Now look, I just want to start with this. I am somebody who is highly higher educated, right? I have done just about everything you can do as far as higher education. I've gotten a bachelor's degree, I've gotten a master's degree, and I'm working on a Ph.D. So I've done a lot of college. I've been at 3 different universities to do those 3 different degrees, and it is something that has been a big part of my life. And I just want to make clear to you that even though that is where I come from, that is my bias, that is I think college can be extremely useful. I think it can be a useful place and a useful experience. I do not think it is for everybody, and I do not think on top of not being for everybody, that it should be pushed as such. I do not think that it provides all of the return that it claims to provide for everyone. I think the lie that you can go to college, get educated, and then go out and get a good paying job is not the case anymore. I think that can happen, but I don't think it is the reality for very, very many. So I don't think that's how we should be pushing this to 18-year-olds that are leaving high school that are being pressured into this situation where it's like, well, all my friends are going to college, so I guess I will go to college too. I don't think that should be the case. What should be going on is that these 18-year-olds should have a clearer view of what all of their options are and what all of the alternatives are, because there are tons of alternatives. Many people do not have college degrees and do just fine. Many people never step foot on a college campus and they did just fine. Now let me tell you, if you never go to college, guess what you will also not do? You will also not have one of the most common types of debt in the United States today, which is student loan debt. And it is the thing that we've talked a lot about this week that holds a lot of people back. And you will not have it if you do not go to college. And we want to make sure that you can be the most successful that you can and find the best job that you can outside of going and getting a higher education. So that's really going to be my focus today. What are the alternatives to college and who do they work for? How do they work? And so we'll just jump right into that. Now, I think I should start all of this off by saying I don't think that you shouldn't go get a college degree because you don't feel like going to get a college degree and that you don't like getting educated. Education is a requirement. We've talked about this week as well, is that no matter what you do, you need to be educated in that thing. You need to be continuously getting educated in that field and getting better and progressing in whatever field you are attempting to work in. So the fact that you may be lazy about going to get education should not be the thing that deters you from going to get a college education. The thing that should be deterring you from a college education is either the lack of funds, right? Not having the money to go get a college education, which is perfectly fine. But that is a reality for many, many people, not having the funds to do so, not having the grades to get any scholarships, and that kind of goes in with having the funds to do so. And then if what you really want to do doesn't require one, if what you really want to do doesn't really need a college degree, then that is perfectly helpful too. If you want to work a trade, that's not going to require any type of college degree, and so that ties in with what you want to do. If what you want to do does not require a degree, then don't go get one just for no reason, because it will be a waste of time and it will be a waste of money if you aren't doing it for the particular thing that you want to do in your life. So what I want to do is I want to go down the line of some jobs, of some career fields that I think could be potentials for individuals who don't go to school. They are good alternatives for you all who don't go to college. Now, the very first one I have here, most people do go to school to get a degree in this because it is a good way to get the education that you need for this thing. But it does not require a college degree. Now, it may be extremely useful to get one, but I'll say that being a commercial pilot does not require a college degree, although some might. Not all do. So this can be something that you do. You can be a pilot and not have a college degree. You just have to have the education, the flight hours, all of those types of things. It's just a different type of education that you will have to get. Even the individuals who go to college for aviation and to become a pilot, their degree tracks are way different than most other people on campus. So that is a particular thing that you could do. This next one is something that is huge. A lot of people without college degrees do it, and a lot of people without college degrees go about making a lot of money doing it. And this is going to require somebody who is a people person, somebody who is not afraid to go out and sell and be personable, and that is an insurance sales rep. So being an insurance agent, doing things like that, or going and being like a drug rep or any type of representative, sales representatives, right? If you can go out and build relationships and create trust with clients and provide them a good product for good value, and provide them things that they need and make them trust you and your company, then you can go a long way in any one of those types of fields. And there are tons of jobs as account representatives or sales representatives or insurance sales rep, drug sales rep, in any of those types of things. And many of you could make a very good living if that is a skill set that you have. If you are a bit more extroverted and a bit more able to persuade and a bit more able to get people to trust you and go along with you, then that can be something that you could jump into as well without a college degree. Then a lot of jobs in the law enforcement space also do not require a college degree. So, being a police officer or, even apart from law enforcement, any type of, public servant in that way, like a fireman or an EMT or something like that, that could be a potential option for you as well. And those could be things that people have long careers without ever having a college degree and serve in those ways. So that could be something that you do. And then a big one that can make you a lot of money. And so I would really listen. And this is not going to be a surprise to anyone, but this is a big area where you do not need a college degree. You just need the education of how to do this stuff. And that is any type of developer, any type of coder, any type of individual who that's what you do all day. You are writing code, you are developing websites, you are streamlining processes, you are automating processes, and you're doing that by writing code. And these types of individuals can be extremely useful in the workplace and in our more and more technological environment of business, of just about any type of job that you will take today is far more reliant on technology than it has ever been. And so these types of individuals are needed. And they do not need, even though some go and get, but they do not need 4-year degrees in order to do these jobs. You just need the certifications in the particular types of work that you are doing, in the things that are going to be beneficial for your work. And if you can go and get those certifications, which are far cheaper than going to get a 4-year degree, and you can do that and become really good at it, you can make a lot of money, because that is a skill set that not a ton of people have. So you can provide a lot of economic value where other people cannot. And then there are many other fields in which you could go without a college degree. So I don't want to hit on every single job type, but those are some that came to mind for me, and some things that I think you could do without a college degree and make a very good living and have a good long-term career. Now, there's some other alternatives to college as well, and these are going to be a bit more vague, but these are things that you should take into account. You could pursue some type of creative talent. Now, I talked in yesterday's video about some of the lower paying college majors being in the arts and in some of the more creative things, but you don't have to have a degree to go do some of these creative things. If you are a good singer or a good musician or a good artist, you can paint well, or you can draw well, or you can, make money selling your art, then, what good is a college degree going to do for you other than some technical things that you may learn? But most of those things are things you could learn by self-studying, by learning things online. You can look up most things online nowadays, so how could you not learn to do some of those things as well? Or maybe take some cheaper courses on some things that are more specific that will help you out in those particular fields, and then pursue that creative talent. Be a party of one, or if you're in a band, a party of 4 or 5, however many, and go and pursue that creative talent. And especially at a younger age, right, when you don't have a family to support yet, or you don't have a bunch of bills and responsibilities, then pursuing that creative talent could be something that is a big risk, big reward type thing. And if that's something you really want to do, there's no reason to go to college in order to do that thing. Now, if you want to go to college for something like that and you have the money to do so, or have scholarships to do so, by all means, and that may boost your resume some in certain ways. But if a musician can play or sing, or if somebody can draw, if somebody can paint, if somebody is really good at what they do, then nobody cares about your credentials. They just care about the output. And the output, if it is good, can get you along in those creative fields. So it's okay to take that leap, especially if you are younger, and that will also not require a college degree. Then quite obviously, you could also go to trade school. That is an option as well. You could go to be a welder, a plumber, a carpenter, any of those types of things, and you can apprentice under individuals that do those types of work, because I'm just telling you, those types of work are not going away. Those are not jobs that will be gone anytime soon. We need individuals to do those jobs. So if it is in demand, it will get paid particularly well if you have the set of skills that you need. Now, obviously, we need to make sure that we get the education that we can go and do these things effectively. Don't just wing it. Go to trade school, get the education that you need. This will be far cheaper than a 4-year degree and far shorter. And you can do the apprentice thing, make some money while you're doing that, and then go out on your own and make a fair amount of money doing any of these types of things. I am all on board with trade schools because we need people to do those jobs. And if you have the self-awareness to know that going to get a 4-year degree in a higher education environment is not what you need. You need work. You need to be doing something with your hands. Then trade school may be the best option for you. And by all means, go and do this, because you can make some really, really good money doing things that people don't want to do, because people don't want to work with their hands, okay? So definitely that is a place where you can go. Now, in a similar way, right, you can go to trade school and let's say you want to become a plumber. Now, you might want to start your own plumbing business. So the next one that I kind of have down the line here is starting your own business. You can start your own business without ever having a college degree. That is, if you have a certain idea or a certain product, or you have a certain set of skills like being a plumber or an electrician or a welder, or something that you can offer to the outside world, then you can begin a small business doing those types of things. And starting a business does not require any type of degree. Now, I will caution you in this place. Do not think that just because you have a good set of skills that starting a business will not be a problem. Starting a business can definitely be a problem because just because you have a set of skills doesn't mean that you are necessarily a good manager. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are an effective business owner. It doesn't mean that you know how to deal well with the business's money. It doesn't mean that you know how to do your taxes and deal with taxable issues as a business owner. So there are things that you need to learn in starting a small business. And again, this does not require a 4-year degree. Now, could a 4-year business degree be extremely useful in knowing accounting, knowing some basic accounting, and knowing how to market well, in knowing how to manage others well? Yes, it could be extremely useful. But is it necessary? Absolutely not. You can take free online courses. You can take free online courses in just about anything and educate yourself on some of these areas that you need help in, and start a small business and do it the right way. Try to start slow, but you could definitely do that without a college degree, and that could be extremely beneficial to you. So by all means, if you have a set of skills, if you have a product that you want to offer to the market, if you have an ability to provide a service to the market, then by all means, start a small business and get the self-taught education that you need to go out and do it effectively. Then another great option for individuals that do not want to do a 4-year degree is to join the military. And I know that this is a very easy thing that you can do. I mean, you can sign up and you can go today, all expenses paid, okay? But this is something that can be a great opportunity for a lot of people. Some people need the discipline and structure that the military provides, and that can be a very good avenue by which to get that discipline and structure. And so you could go for that particular reason. And obviously you go and you're making money and don't have a lot of expenses because they are taking care of you. But another benefit could also be the fact that they will pay for your education. So if you think that, right now I'm maybe not in a place or not emotionally mature enough to go to a 4-year university and do all the right things, but if you go into the military, they can pay for your university. They can pay for your 4-year degree. And that can be a huge benefit because you can be making money in the military while getting that school paid for. So that can be a huge, huge deal for many of you. And then it just may be something that you particularly enjoy. You may find something within the military that you are good at and that you like, and you like the environment of all of it. You like the hierarchy and the structure, and that's something that you want to continue in as a long-term career, and that is perfectly fine as well. More power to you for that. But it is a great option. It is a great option and alternative to getting a 4-year college degree right off the bat. And it can provide you with a lot of clarity as to what you actually want to do. And it can provide you a lot of those skills. Like, we were talking about skills as far as aviation earlier. Well, you might get some of those skills and licenses in the military, or maybe, doing certain types of welding or whatever it may be, right? Anything to do with, tools and machinery and building things. And that may be a particular set of skills that you will attain in the military, and that you can turn that into something for yourself in the civilian world. And so that is definitely a good option that you should keep in mind if college, a 4-year university, or even a 2-year is not on your radar right now. Then another thing that a lot of people do that don't get college degrees, and a lot of people who do get college degrees go and do this as well, but it is a very, very saturated market. You must be very good at what you do to be successful at this thing, but it is a particular option, and that is being a realtor. And in the same way, being an insurance agent. Both of those things require a lot of skill, a lot of nuance, a lot of working well with people, a lot of understanding of these different markets, and being able to deal well in them. And so, if that is something that is interesting to you, then that may be a way that you can go. Obviously, there's still some education to be had there. You have to, get your real estate license, even though that is not the most difficult license in the world to attain. it is still something that you have to educate yourself on and get continuing education over time. So again, if you're just lazy and don't want to get education, then this is not a place for you to go, nor is being an insurance agent. That requires continuing ed as well. And so just making sure that you're not just lazy about education, that you actually have a particular set of skills and you have an aspiration to do these particular things, then it could be useful to you to get into one of these fields and get the education needed and push forward and maybe do extremely well, maybe make a lot of money in the particular field that you go into, like being a realtor or an insurance agent. Now, I kind of want to wrap up today just talking about why I feel the way I do about college, why I feel the way I do about how it is not absolutely necessary and it's not something that everybody needs to go into. Look, I have seen far too many individuals either go into student loan debt and get no degree because college wasn't right for them. I've seen people go and squander scholarships because college wasn't right for them, or they were not mature enough to be in that place just yet. Or I've seen individuals go and waste their parents' money or their own money on college because that is not what was suited for them. All of this is a big self-awareness game. And college is only going to help you get educated in these certain ways. I know it is touted as an experience, right? But what are we here for? We're here for education. And don't get me wrong, it is an experience. College is an experience, but it is not the end all be all. It is not the thing that is going to get you to the promised land financially or otherwise. Can it be an avenue to get you into certain fields? Of course it can. And of course it does. It does for many, many people every single semester, every single year. It puts them into the workforce ahead of the game or right on par to where they need to be to do the certain thing that they want to do. So there is nothing wrong with college, but the issues come when you are not self-aware enough to notice that you are not supposed to be in that place, that is not going to benefit you in the long term. And I know at 18, it is hard to make those types of decisions. I know that you're looking around and every one of your friends is getting ready to go to college and move into their dorm room and join a sorority or a fraternity and go and do all these big, fun-looking things, and you want to be a part of it too. But going and wasting time and money on that when you could be getting started on the thing that is going to propel you forward in your life and something that you might really, really enjoy, then you can be so ahead of the game. And just think, if you go into something at 18 years old and you don't particularly enjoy that, well, guess what? You've still got that 4-year period that everybody else is going to be at university to try some different things out. Be a little bit more well-rounded. Get some different jobs. Try some things out. See what you're good at. Get some experience doing some things that may be of particular interest to you. And, maybe it's not that college is not for you. Maybe it's that college is not for you right now. That kind of falls into the same vein. Go and get some experiences. Try some things out. Don't let this clock, right? This imaginary clock that everybody wants to abide by for some particular reason. Everybody wants to abide by this imaginary clock that says, okay, when you're 18, you need to be graduated from high school and go to college. And then you need to graduate from college in 4 years. And then right after that, you need to get married and start a family and buy a house and all these types of things. Look, everybody's timeline is different. Everybody's timeline differs based on their life, their experiences, the opportunities that they have, all of these different things. Things do not work out in an exactly perfect way. So don't expect them to. Don't think that just because you're going out and getting experiences and making money while your friends are at school, that is a negative thing. Maybe that is what you need to be doing. Maybe that is where you need to be in order to gain some maturity, gain some perspective, understand what you're actually interested in before you just jump into a college degree that just sounded fun or sounded like you would be good at it. And then you change majors 6 times and then you're a 6-year senior at a university getting a degree in God knows what. Okay. So I'm not hating on you 6-year seniors out there. I'm just saying far too often does it happen that people jump into a college degree or a degree field and they are not at all prepared for what's coming. They're not at all prepared for this place. They're not mature enough. They're not mentally prepared enough. They don't know what they want to do with their life. And at 18, most people don't know what they want to do with their life. And some of you do, and that's a blessing. But most people do not. And so take advantage of some time if you need it. If you need to take some years and work and figure it out, then definitely do so. And guess what? On the back end of that, you'll be able to go to school with money in your pocket and maybe pay for school and be able to take advantage of that, right? Just paying for school and not taking out student loans, not being in that precarious situation that your friends are going to be in because they didn't pay for school out of pocket, that they did take out all these tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans, and you could be in a better position than they are. Now, maybe college is just not for you right now. Now, college could very well not be for you at all, and that is perfectly okay too. That's why I went over all of these things in today's episode. Now, I just want to make sure you know, always be educating yourself. Always be getting better at what you do. Always be learning more. Always be diving in and trying to get better at the things that you love doing. And if you do, then you will be far more fulfilled in the work that you do. You'll be far more fulfilled and you'll be better at it. You'll just be good at it because you understand it better than other people. Don't ever get lazy when it comes to being educated, but formal education may not be the way to go. And that's what I want to make clear to you. And that's why I've put out this episode today. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you could, go down below, hit the big red subscribe button, like this video, leave me any feedback in the comments if you haven't done so already. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify podcasts, thank you for doing that. Make sure that you subscribe there and leave me a review on either one of those platforms. Follow me on social media at MNO with Dylan. And that's good supplemental material for the things I put out in my daily long form episodes like this one. And then if you need somebody to help you build a financial plan that is specific to you and help you walk through it week by week, month by month, however often you need me to walk through it with you, then I can definitely help you do that. Just go to my website, www.mnowithdylan.com. Click on the Work with Dylan tab and pick the financial coaching session type that would work best for you. And we can begin pushing towards your long-term financial goals. So tune in next week as it is Christmas week. And so I am going to begin talking about Christmas and your money and Christmas things in general next week that tie into your personal finances. So you won't want to miss that as we enter into that very, very special week in which we all can spend time with our family and remember the newborn Savior. So thanks for tuning into this episode of Money's No Object. I'm your host, Dylan Howell. God bless.